relationships, trauma, philosophy, relationships, trauma, philosophy.
Welcome to the Yellow Habibi podcast. If you're craving more adventure in life, whether to live it vicariously through us or get ideas to spark your own, this is the podcast for you. I'm Shelby.
And I'm Scott.
We're a couple exploring life, sharing the ups and downs of figuring it all out. Whether it's our travel stories, relationship goals, tough moments, or philosophical conversations, it is never a dull episode. Join us on this spinning rock we call Earth as we figure it out together. To all our new listeners, welcome, and to everyone else, welcome back. Before we jump in, flick the like button, headbutt subscribe, drop 5 stars on the podcast like a wizard, and share the episode by juggling flaming torches while announcing it. It really goes a long way. Head over to our TikTok to catch the best bits from today's episode, and if you're joining us for the first time, you can go back and see all of our favourite moments. And to all our new listeners, I am your resident lexicographer and etymologist, also known on this podcast as the countdown legend, Susie Dent.
Whoop whoop, Susie.
Whoop whoop, Susie. To give you a hint as to what this episode is going to be about, I'm going to sing you a little song.
Go for it.
Now there you go again, you say you want your freedom. Who am I to keep you back? I don't know the rest of the words.
That's beautiful.
For the astute among you will know that is Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. So yeah that's...
I don't remember. I'm rubbish with knowing lyrics and names and stuff, but it sounded beautiful.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, today's going to be all about dreams. So I think we are quite a dreamy couple.
Yeah, you love to tell me about your dreams.
So fun thing about dreams, right? Everyone thinks that their dream is really interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like people love to tell other people what they dreamed about. But there's nothing more boring than hearing about someone else's dream.
It's so boring.
Yet we all still are really excited to share our own.
Yeah.
And I find that quite interesting. It's a bit like Spotify Wrapped. People are like, and they post a Spotify Wrapped to their story. Like, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Who cares but you? Like, who actually cares but you?
Yeah, no one cares really. So we thought we'd do an episode on it.
We thought we'd do an episode on something nobody cares about.
But you never know.
No, we're not just going to share dreams that we've had. We're going to be talking more generally about dreams, such as to define a dream. There are some people that don't dream at all, I think.
Do they not?
I think if you're a listener who doesn't dream, or I think we all do dream, but I don't think everyone remembers them. So if you are a listener who doesn't ever recall their dreams, I would love to hear from you. Yeah, so I think when you're in REM, which we'll get onto shortly, that's like where people would have a dream, but you're not forced to remember it the next day.
Apparently some people do report they never dream, but it seems unlikely from the very quick research I've done, but we could be wrong because it is a big part of the human sleep cycle.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can skip REM. I don't think that's... But you could not remember it.
It's not ironically you don't remember.
You don't remember it. I think they say you have hundreds of dreams in one night, but I can go a week with not having it, not recollecting any, and then I can have a week where I recollect 6.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
Subjective. Dreams are, by definition, subjective mental experiences that occur mainly during the REM cycle, REM sleep, involving imagery, emotion, memory fragments, and narrative stimulation without, crucially, external sensory input. So it's not something that you've necessarily... Well, your dream can be about something that you have experienced, but in the moment you're not experiencing it, so it's not caused by what's going on around you necessarily.
No, but it can feel very real, as if it is.
Oh yeah, totally. Do you know why we dream, Scott?
I wanted to get some latest research, because I'm like, you never hear of any research on dreams. And I remember there used to be this really cool documentary on TV I used to watch with my mum, and it was dark. My mum, like every mum I feel, is into murderers And basically, this was about dreamers that actually dreamwalk and kill.
Do you know, there's something on this morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, literally they were talking, not necessarily about killing, but about this girl who would yell at her stepdad and tell him he's a piece of shit and that
Oh,
he was
really?
cheating. And yeah, but in walking, like, her personality was totally different and she would never say that to him normally. So yeah, interesting.
That's wild. Yeah, it's wild. It was a fun watch, even though it was really sad. But yeah, they would sleepwalk and they would murder. They would even get in a car and they would drive to someone's house, and they would knock
That's
on the door.
wild.
It was like wild stories. And there used to be, I feel like there was so much stuff around it, and now we don't hear anything. No one talks about dreams. So I was trying to find the latest research, and it's saying the recent research suggests dream health. Well, this is pretty obvious though. Helps with emotional regulation, memory consolidation, threat simulation, not stimulation, threat simulation, which I thought was interesting. That lines up with dreams, allowing the brain to safely rehearse scenarios and process unresolved scenario experiences. And studies also show REM dreams play a key role in creativity and problem solving by loosely connecting unrelated memories. I'll be honest, that sounds like something most people would know. If you want to get a probably better description, don't leave this podcast, but there is a sleep expert called Matthew Walker who does do a great podcast on Stephen Bartlett's The Diary of a CEO. He's been on Joe Rogan a bunch. He's the one guy I've seen that's been on podcasts that is just excellent. Yeah, he probably gives you a better definition. But this is going to be much more interesting than Matthew's podcast.
It is, absolutely. So don't leave us. That's only if you want supplementary information after you've listened to us. Something that I've always, even from a kid, I've been curious, how do you know if a dream is real or not? And I just think it's an interesting thing, because how do we know we're not dreaming right now, first of all?
I actually struggle with this because I feel like I had more and more experiences later in life where I honestly don't know if I've dreamt something or I've done it. And it's starting to freak me out a bit. Like, even like something I've told someone and then I'll ask that person, they said, no, you haven't told me that. I'm like, oh God, I really thought I had, but I dreamt it. So I'm starting to get a bit freaked out by, even as an adult who does have a grasp on life, I'm not like losing the plot, but I do struggle with that question. The obvious thing is check your watch. Has it gone from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock? That is a quick one in dreams that does work if you can lucid dream. Easy description says that dream, if it's not a dream state, there should be logical gaps, there should be time jumps, shifts feel normal, and consistent memory, stable physical laws, and continuous self-awareness, which is fine on paper, but I still struggle to, I find it very murky with, like, not big things, but like small things, like something that maybe I did in life or something that I said to someone. And there has been times where I've, at the end of the day, I've just had to accept I don't know if it was real or not.
That must feel quite frightening.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I think, particularly when it's something that's plausible. If it's something wacky, did I really go to the moon? No, you didn't.
Yeah, you'd be able to figure that out pretty quickly.
But when it's like about a conversation or something really inconsequential,
Yes.
you're like, I'm sure we spoke about this the other day or whatever,
Yeah.
then it can be really hard to separate that. Like, I think I've been on the receiving end of someone having a dream about something and believing it was true of me. When I was doing my teacher training year, it's not you, don't worry, looking at me then.
No, I think I know where you're going with it.
Oh, okay. When I was doing my teacher training,
Carry on.
okay, sorry. My mentor sent me an email and said, what time do you want to come and see me today? And I was like, oh, do I need to see you today? What is it about? And she was like, I don't know, you requested the meeting. What? I was like, I have no recollection of this whatsoever. I was looking through my email. I don't remember emailing her about it. I don't remember having a conversation with her about it. So I think she's dreamt that we were meeting that day. And said to me, what time do you want to meet?
Oh, wow. You think she's dreamt it?
That's the only thing I can think, because the teacher training year is easily the most stressful course I've ever done. And there's a lot to balance all at once. So it is feasible that I could have missed. But again, this is the thing. When things are like feasible, it's likely and possible I could have asked to meet with her, but I have no idea why I would have in that particular moment.
You didn't have any notes or a calendar invite or anything?
No, I didn't. I don't really use calendar invites. So yeah, it was a bit of a strange one.
That is not what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to talk about your brother.
My brother?
Yeah, there's a... yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So we went to see Kelly Rowland. And when I say we, I mean myself, my mother, my cousin, and my auntie all went to see Kelly Rowland at Sheffield City Hall many moons ago. And afterwards, we saw her tour bus, and for shits and gigs, whatever reason, I don't know, we decided to follow the tour bus for a bit in the car. And when we were telling this story, my brother was there, and he was adamant. He was like, yeah, I know I was there. And none of us recall him being there, but he's certain that he was. I think he's just heard us tell the story so many times he can remember it as though it was an experience. Either that or we're just all really mean.
No, you're definitely not mean. I think it's much more likely he wasn't, because that was 4 people.
Yeah.
At least one of them's going to remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more likely he just thought, maybe dreamt it. I don't know. Maybe it was linked to dreams. Maybe it wasn't, but I think that's quite strange. Yeah.
Yeah, and also I just think at the age we were as well, I think I was about 10, 11, so it'd have been 12, 13. 13, 14. I can't imagine that he would have wanted to come on a girls' trip to watch Kelly Rowland.
No, that isn't something you'd be putting your name down.
No. Who, by the way, is going to be in a new TV show that looks really good.
How exciting. Yeah. Whoop up Kelly. We want to jump on to, do you have recurring dreams?
I do, yes. The recurring dream that I have is being late for work, and usually teaching, because that will be like the worst scenario in which, to me, the worst scenario in which I would be late is if I've got classes to teach and I'm not there and all the kids are there and I've not let them know that I'm going to be late. It's usually a dream that I've woken up late, but I'm talking like...
Are you naked?
I'm not, no.
Oh.
Sorry to disappoint, Scott.
People tend to be naked in front of classes of people, don't they?
Yeah, no, I've had that, but thank you. I probably will in future now. No, I usually dream that I wake up at something like the time that I'm supposed to be there. So let's say school starts at 8:30. My dream starts with me waking up at 8:30, being panicked and being like, oh my God, I'm meant to be there right now and I'm not there. Me ringing and saying I'm going to get there as soon as I can, but then things keep stopping me from making progress.
Oh.
And that in my head, and I think this is down to also an issue that I have with timing and managing my own time, that I always think that I can fit. If I've got an hour, I think that I can do 2 hours worth of things in that hour.
Oh yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
To a T.
And it's so difficult to overcome that and think, oh, if I've got 5 minutes, then I've got 5 minutes. But no, because I don't think about the transition time of getting out the door, getting my shoes, I'm going for the train, for example. I'm very last minute and end up having to run down the hill. And so I think this is part of the dream, is that I know that's an issue that I have. And I just think, oh, I'll find the time somewhere, but then various things keep happening that stop me from getting to work on time. But now I work from home, so I can just literally wake up and open my laptop, but...
Yeah, you are one of those people who get the sort of, it's called Sunday blues, where work the next day, you get anxious about the next day. It took me a lifetime to get over that. I even brought it up in counselling, and we actually worked through it because I was just so sick for the next day. And I was just like, I'm only getting 1 day a weekend of solace. And I'm sick of it, and finally worked through it, and I never get it now.
Oh,
I'd only get it if there was a pressured big thing, like presentation, something like this. But yeah, so I think you get that quite a lot, even in the weekday. I think you get quite anxious. So yeah, I can see why it would appear quite good for you.
And it's definitely, that's improved because I really love my job now. And I've loved teaching, but teaching is incredibly stressful. It's in-person teaching is a total different kettle of fish to online teaching. And I love my job now very much. But yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I still have had a dream that I've been late to an online lesson.
And now it's morphed. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
My dream's adapted. But what about yourself?
My dream that's reoccurring is one that also seeps into what we were saying earlier about blurring between a real life event and a dream. I still don't have the answer to it. I have told people throughout my life different things because I don't know. I know I've told people this as a true event that's happened to me. I've also told people it is a dream.
Oh.
I genuinely still do not know today. So we used to live, there was a place where we grew up in Yorkshire, a very nice neighbourhood. Everyone would go out and play. It was really lovely. Everyone would know their neighbours. Lovely place to grow up. And I still don't know if this happened or wasn't, but I was home alone, just not for long. I was like maybe 10, 12. And I was home for like literally 30 minutes. Like I'd got back from school first. And obviously I locked the front door. But there were these two people. I know I was quite small. It's freaking me out now. And I just saw these two figures at the front door. And we had a door where the glass pane, I don't know what you call it, but it's where you can see people, but they're blurred. So you wouldn't see their face. What do you call that type of glass?
Opaque.
Opaque, like bathroom, that type of glass. So you couldn't see the face. But I remember it being two people. One was quite tall. The other person was shorter. And they first knocked on. And they knocked on, and I went to answer it. So I got to like the other side of the hall. So I came out of the kitchen, and I was like looking right at the door. You weren't too far from the front door. And after they'd started knocking, I was just looking at them because I didn't recognize the figures. I was like, that's definitely not Mum or anyone. And then straight after, they start opening the handle, and I could watch the handle slowly press down, and I could see they're trying to open the door. And I'm bricking it. And I'm frozen in fear. And I'm just at the hallway. They'd be able to see me lightly, but they haven't noticed me. And they're trying to open it. And they're like shaking it. And they're trying. And that's as much as I can remember. It's two figures, me home alone, and them trying to get in. It was in day. So probably that leans towards it's less likely. But I honestly don't, and I have this dream over and over again. So maybe I've answered it. Maybe it is a dream, but I don't know if it was a real event because it just feels so real. Like I can remember it. I remember being there. I remember seeing it, but it's always been recurring through my life. I've not had it too often recently. I don't know really when it arrives. It just will. Sometimes I'll get it a lot for 1 month, and then I might not get it for a few months. But I used to get that dream a lot. I haven't had it as much in the last few years.
And are you that age in your dream?
Yeah, I'm that age. And it's the exact same every time. Sometimes they do get in my dream. They do get in. And every time I run away, no matter no matter what barriers I put in front of them, no matter what I plan, I always get caught. It's horrific. Every time I'm just 1 foot out the door, that's when I get pulled back.
Oh, that's horrible.
It's never like halfway through. It's whenever I'm like just out the door or window, I get pulled back. And it's just like the worst feeling.
That sounds horrendous.
So I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I don't like that.
It really freaks me out. I'm really uncomfortable talking about it. Because I guess talking about it now, it seems to lean more towards a dream. But it just feels like such a real event.
Whether it was or it wasn't, the fact that it's still recurring is obviously something that's bothered you deeply. So whether it's a dream that's the trauma or the actual event, that's the thing that keeps happening.
Yeah.
So it's, the outcome I think would be the same. My darling, I don't like that one bit.
No, it freaked me right out. So let us know if you have any recurring dreams. I think all my dreams on this are going to be awful too.
Well, I don't think anyone has a pleasant recurring dream. If you do, let us know. That'd be great, wouldn't it? If we had recurring dreams that were nice. But yeah, I don't have any positive recurring dreams. I don't think. Would you say that was your worst dream, or would you have a different one that's your worst dream?
No, I've had even. That's the one that sits with me the most because it's just I've dreamt it since a young boy. But there's two others that get pretty gruesome. I don't get this sense of everyone says you can't die in your dream. I've died multiple times in my dream. Like people say you can't die. I've had, this is gonna get weird. I've had people drill into my head. I've had people cut my hand off. People say you can't get hurt. I've had all sorts of this. That's why I also question whether I'm alive. But I've had the clown never catches you. It catches me. I don't get this logic of these things not happening. All these things have happened in my dreams. But yeah, probably the most intense one was when I was strapped to a chair and they took a drill and they drilled straight and I just had to take it. It felt so real. And they just drilled through my skull. And they just drilled just to torture me. And it felt every bit of real. It was crucifying. I was traumatized for days and days after that. I didn't know a dream could get that gruesome. I didn't know that could exist. I was traumatized for days after that. Which is weird to think that you could go to counselling for dreams, which I haven't, but this wild thing. Imagine having to do a CBT for dreams. That's an interesting conversation.
Yeah, but if we tie it back to what dreams are for, and that's for processing unprocessed trauma or for stress, and it's not necessarily about the same thing, do you know what I mean? It's not that you've experienced something bad with a drill that's making you dream it necessarily. But whether it's that, I think it's like the feeling, isn't it? Whatever emotion it is that you have there is like a fear. Maybe a fear of being hurt. So maybe if you have a day-to-day fear about like getting hurt, then that would translate into that kind of dream. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense. So that, and I'm not the fighting type. I'm not someone who wants to be involved in any violence, or I never have. Obviously, as a teenager, you speak like you do, but no, God, who's a softie? Yeah. I never wanted to be near any violence or scary things. I always just wanted to have a good time. So that would add up with who I am. But yeah, it was terrifying. And another one, which is a more recent version, almost like an updated version of the one from the people trying to get in the houses in my mum's current house, where I can't get off the lounge floor, and they're robbing the house and torturing me. Like that's somewhat been reoccurring as well. It's like it feels like the leveled up version of the one in that original home when I was a kid. That's one that's become a bit more recurring. Again, not had that one for a few months, but it likely to appear again.
That's horrible.
Yeah, I found my dreams can be pretty intense. I've always been someone who's had I've been quite an active sleeper. I'm not someone who really talks. I'm definitely not a sleepwalker, but I've always been quite an active dreamer, and also my body parts, my leg will move and stuff. I move a lot in my sleep, and I've kicked things, I've smashed things in my sleep. That's true. I nearly punched someone.
You've elbowed me before.
I've elbowed you, but I came less than an inch of hitting someone so hard, because I was just in this dream and they were next to me. It was a friend, and I came round, and it was wild how, I don't know how it happened, but honestly, I woke up. What?
I'm just imagining being that person.
I'm not. Imagine they're just sleeping, sound asleep. They were so soundly asleep, like just snoring. And I stopped, honestly, an inch from their nose. Like I was coming around full pelt. Yeah. I was coming around with everything I had. I stopped and I woke up like with my fist over their face, and I was like, oh my God, I was just going to cave this man's face in. Oh, how would I ever apologize enough for that? And they didn't even know it ever happened. I never told them. So yeah, be careful if you're sleeping next to me.
Might have to put up a barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty traumatic and scary things happen in your sleep. And I wish I could fix it for you.
Yeah, maybe we get off worse ones, unless you want to speak about yours.
Yeah, just my worst one is me being unfaithful.
Oh.
So I just wrote on the notes.
Is it real or dream?
No, I know that it's not real, but in the dream, I always feel very upset and confused as to why and how it happened, when it's, like, Scott knows that it's, for me, a relationship ender. Like, that it just is it. Like,
I think it's true for anyone, really.
No, I think some people would say that it's obviously not ideal.
It's not something anyone wants.
No, but I think that some people would say that they could get over it. I don't think I could get over it. And so that when that happens in my dream and it's me, I'm so disappointed in myself and confused. And even in the dream, I'm like, this isn't what I wanted. Why would I do it? Like, why? And it's very upsetting. So, yeah, that's my worst.
Oh, you're going to have to apologise to me now. I do. There's videos on that of couples where one of them like has a dream where they argue and they like demand an apology the next day, and I find it so funny.
Yeah, it's really
you've got to apologise, and the other person's like, "What? It's a dream. I'm not apologising for shit." And then they have an argument over it.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I say I'll apologise to you in my dream tonight. How about
that? Yeah. It's just a funny thing.
What's your favourite dream, Scott?
I think it's anything involving sex. I think that's the reality. I think anything involving being aroused is just the best fun. I think that, and if you're able to lucid dream, which you can train yourself to do, I've done it myself, then that's also quite fun, because then you can be quite creative. Lucid dream means you acknowledge you're in a dream and you can take control. It's a real thing. I've done it myself, and you can take control of your dream and you can just do whatever you want. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, I think in my life I've had, I think, 2 lucid dreams. I wasn't trying to have them, they just happened, and I think that was the coolest. Like it's going to sound like I've got a god complex. I was walking on water, and that was pretty cool.
It's there to do anything, isn't it?
Yeah.
If someone was given the power to do anything and no one to see it, then I think we'd all do some things that maybe we won't want everyone knowing. I think that is just true.
Maybe so.
I think if someone's saying it's not, I think they're lying to themselves. I think there are things that people know about themselves they'll never share.
Oh, interesting.
Why? Just life is a long time, isn't it? Life is a long time, and your brain is weird, and you can get some pretty wild thoughts throughout your life, strange, wrong, whatever, and sometimes you get lost in them. So I think you're gonna lean into weird thoughts in your life.
Maybe so. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't look that agreeable, but I'm just honest. I'm just honest that we all have strange thoughts in our life.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of a strange thought that I have that I would enact in a dream, but I don't know that I would.
Yeah, but the thoughts I'm talking about is ones you won't want to air.
Oh, okay.
You won't want to say it on a podcast, I can tell you that.
Okay, fair enough. I'm intrigued. Maybe we move on to Scott's WTF of the week.
Yes, my WTF. Every week the world gets a little weirder. Let's talk about the strange thing that went down this week. A healthy man in his 50s has nearly died after consuming 8 energy drinks a day for years.
Oof.
I'm surprised it isn't my dad, because he's luckily stopped now, but he's a Red Bull warrior, and he would, whenever he would come pick me up or would go wherever, you'd open his boot and he'd have a couple of crates of it. He would drink 4 or 5 a day of Red Bulls. He lived off the stuff until a few years ago, and he's knocked it now. But I've never been into energy drinks myself, so luckily I don't have this problem. But yeah, he had 8 energy drinks a day for years, and it basically led to severe health problems, no shit, including heart palpitations, high blood pressure, and electrolyte imbalances. Doctors say that the high caffeine and sugar content overwhelmed his system, causing his body to crash. Jesus. And he actually ended up in hospital with extreme fatigue, dehydration, and dangerous heart rhythms. And yes, it's just wild. He came, I guess, hours away from death if he didn't seek medical attention just from consuming something that anyone can buy.
See, this worries me a lot. My brother drinks a lot of energy drinks.
Oh.
He's a firefighter, and I don't know if that's relevant, strictly speaking. Like, shift works and that. And
Yeah, shift. They've done studies on shifts. It's the worst. Shifts is the worst for the human body. To bounce between different time zones, sleep wrong, the health implications are like really bad.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about that coming up as well, because I'm going to be working some dodgy shifts.
Yeah, but it's not going to be a lifetime commitment.
No, it's just going to be a couple of months in
It's a period of time.
But yeah, so my brother drinks a lot of energy drinks. Anytime I see, like in school, like kids, energy drinks were banned for obvious reasons, because I think got to be 16 or 18 to buy them anyway.
And I bet that's not enforced half the time.
No, it is supposed to be. I would always enforce it if I ever saw a kid with one. I'm like, how bad that is for you, and also it's not allowed.
Yeah, so I meant in like a shop.
Oh, God,
yeah,
no.
I was referring to
No.
like shop is what I meant, yeah.
No, there's a shop that's well known in Wakefield, a city near us, called Wakey Wines. Got famous
Class.
during COVID, I think, because of selling Prime. I'm not
Probably, yeah.
entirely sure, but yeah, like not to at all imply that Wakey Wines is selling energy drinks to minors.
No.
I don't know why I brought them up. But yeah, no, I don't think your local corner shop is going to care that you're a school kid and that it's going to cause you heart problems.
Yeah, it's bad. The medical experts warn that even people who feel fit can suffer serious consequences from it. The man has since cut back and focusing on healthy hydration. Whether he might be getting the odd one or two. If he's addicted to the stuff, I won't be surprised if he's still knocking a couple back. But yeah, you got to be careful. That was a silly amount he was drinking, but it's just so easy. They just become like water to people.
Totally.
They become, and those Rockstar cans are massive.
Yeah.
They've got so much in them, and that's like a normal. Oh yeah, I've had two. Dude, that's 5 Red Bulls.
Yeah.
So you've got to be really wary of it.
Yeah, you do. And that's interesting, like, you're talking about the size, because I noticed that in, like, Asia, they're a lot smaller. Do you notice the cans were, like, normal size cans?
Oh.
I have partaken in the odd can of Monster. And, yeah, they're a lot smaller than the big whack-off double cans that we get here.
Something we should learn from Asia.
One of many. Well, let's move on to Shelby's Good Vibes Only. Let's take a break from the chaos. Here's something to make you smile this week.
Shelby's Good Vibes Only.
Old instruments are bringing new opportunities to young lives. This is such a lovely Shelby story. Shelby story. I won't laugh at why that's funny.
It's funny.
I think it's a really me story, this, because thousands of musical instruments in the UK are thrown away every year, which breaks my heart, but new initiatives are rescuing them and giving them to children who otherwise couldn't afford to play. There's a local charity in Manchester called the Olympias Music Foundation, and they are basically refurbishing instruments and repurposing them for students who otherwise wouldn't play. A music teacher, Clara Rundle, has said, "We struggle to find people to fix string instruments," and like, she pointed to a heap of violins and cellos in the corner, and that was called the musical bonfire because...
Bonfire.
Yeah, because they couldn't... It's called a luthier, someone who fixes string instruments. Did you know that?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't it? But they are... It's a very skilled profession, and I think it is hard to come by someone who can sufficiently mend string instruments.
Just putting strings on them? Or...
No, so it wouldn't just be about restringing them, but it could be if the neck's bent, or if...
okay.
They need refretting or something like that.
It's the same for a tuner for a piano, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Really, I couldn't just tune a piano. I can tune a guitar. I can restring a guitar. I wouldn't be able to put a new neck on a guitar, refret it, adjust it if the action was wrong, which is like the distance between the strings and the neck.
No.
And so there's a lot more to it than you might think if it needs new pegs, etc. But anyway, for example, there's a 114-year-old cello that was once cracked and silent, was restored and given to 11-year-old student Jason, who now spends weekends performing classical music instead of staring at screens. And that literally makes my heart skip a beat. I think it's so beautiful. And I could actually cry at the minute thinking about it.
Oh.
Because I think screens have just become the default form of passing time, and we are so wasting life on screens. So for a student to be given an instrument and that now, like, I remember that feeling of getting an instrument and being obsessed by it and wanting to do nothing but play it, and hopefully that's going to do that for so many more new musicians. I think it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. I think rekindling our relationship with musical instruments is one that I hope will last. It has lasted so long. But yeah, I think it's a great one. I think it makes the brain work in a very positive way. I know even if we skip all the way to the older generation, learning a musical instrument actually does a lot to fight against dementia.
For sure.
So it's something that doesn't demand a lot of effort. From a physical point of view, you don't need to be physically a stallion to pick up a guitar, do you? So I think it's amazing for all ages.
Yeah.
And it's also something that it's not age defiant. You can defy. It doesn't matter what age you are.
Yeah, 100%. There'll be an instrument that you can play.
Yeah.
It's lovely. And I think if you have liked this episode, we've got some recommendations for you. This is actually our first episode on Dreams, so we don't really have any other episodes that are directly connected. But if you like the weird, the wacky, the wonderful, thinking about out-of-body experience, that kind of thing, then check out the real-life poltergeist that drove my family out of our home. It changed the way we see everything. That's one of our previous episodes.
Yeah, we talk about everything poltergeist, real poltergeist experiences, true stories. And actually, there is one story that I did touch on where I did actually smash a glass pane of a wardrobe, which was driven by a dream.
So I guess it is related then.
Yeah.
But before we all get swallowed up by the madness of day-to-day life, please can you do us a favour and flick the button, headbutt subscribe, drop 5 stars on the podcast like a wizard, and share the episode by juggling flaming torches while announcing it. It really goes a long way.
It really does.
Another adventure wrapped up.
But the journey never ends.
Keep your bags packed for the next one, and remember, when in doubt, just say,
Yalla
Yalla Habibi, see you next time.